Here's your wrestling news for March 10th, 2023, and we're kicking off today with WWE. And yesterday, we reported on big plans to legalize betting on their shows, which, if successful, could dramatically alter how WWE does business. In their talks with the state gambling regulators in Colorado and Michigan, WWE has said that they will ensure that match results don't leak ahead of time by telling as few people of the results as possible. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that WWE's plan to keep the finishes of matches from talent, only telling them who's winning an hour or two before the match, will hurt WWE's biggest names. The guys that this is going to affect the most are your champions, your Charlotte Flairs, your Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Usos, and all of them. They're the ones who need, more than anyone, especially Roman Reigns, to know where he's going and what he's doing. And those are the ones who are not going to be allowed to be told, and those are the ones with the most pull. The irony in all of this is that WWE says they will keep results and plans from leaking to the public, but the only reason we know about their efforts to legalize betting is because WWE failed to stop this news leaking to the public. It'll certainly be difficult for champions to create a story with their challengers without knowing if they'll be losing their title or not, and would seemingly end any plans for long-term storytelling. At this time, there's no guarantee that WWE's plan to legalize betting on their top matches will be a successful one, but this is a bold idea from Nick Khan, one that could seriously harm WWE. WWE has made a bold step with their attempts to legalize betting on their shows, but how do the superstars themselves feel about the plan? Well, as you might expect, the roster aren't taking too kindly to the possibility that they will have to sequence matches without knowing the ending or who will be winning. On his show, Meltzer said that WWE employees are rolling their eyes at the idea, with the agreed feeling that this plan is not a good thing if it happens. While the superstars may not like the idea, it'll ultimately be the decision of the likes of Nick Khan and Vince McMahon, and with the possibility of big money to be made from bets, it may just be a matter of time before the two men implement this change. WWE is already spoken with gaming regulators in Colorado and Michigan, and now a third state is on the company's radar. It's been confirmed that not only is WWE interested in legalizing betting on their matches in Indiana, but that they have already registered with the state's gaming commission. That being said, the Colorado Division of Gaming has stated that it is not currently considering or planning to allow sports betting on WWE matches. A spokesperson for the division explained that Colorado currently has a statute in place that prohibits bets on events with predicted or fixed outcomes. WWE realizes that there's a huge amount of money to be made in gambling, so we can only imagine they'll try and get around that statute, and we'll keep following this story for further updates. During this week's AEW Dynamite, Tony Khan appeared on the show to announce the renaming of the All-Atlantic Championship, which will now be known as the AEW International Championship going forward. Next week's Dynamite will see All-Atlantic champion Orange Cassidy face Jeff Jarrett for the International Gold, and we now know more about the decision to change the name. Fightful Select reports that this name change has been in the works for some time, after Warner Media asked AEW for something big to promote Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Khan had the idea to give the belt a level up and had a new belt made months ago, and it is said that AEW is always excited to promote things for Warner Media and have newsworthy events in association. AEW also wanted to do something newsworthy for their debut show in Winnipeg and to increase the title's prestige, and they believe that the new title will be a big deal. We don't know how exactly the new championship will look, only that a new title has been designed, and we'll have to see who leaves Canada as the first AEW International Champion. This week's AEW Dynamite also saw Powerhouse Hobbs won the TNT Championship from Wardlow, marking the former's first taste of AEW Gold. Given that the TNT Championship, as well as Wardlow's gear, was stolen before Dynamite, some had questioned if the title match would go ahead, but this week's show was a long time in the works. That's according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, who reported that Hobbs' TNT title win was planned months ago and had been decided as far back as November 2022, if not earlier. AEW has seen long-term plans like this before, as Hangman Page's World Championship win in late 2021 had reportedly been in the works since the company's very start back in January of 2019. Wardlow's second reign as TNT champion was incredibly short and will likely be best remembered for the title belt being stolen, but now we'll have to see how Hobbs fares now that he finally holds the gold. We've got some unfortunate news to report now, as former ECW and WWE star Justin Credible has lost his apartment in a fire. NBC Connecticut were the first to report on the fire that tore through the Waterbury apartment complex, with 4 families being displaced as a result of the blaze. PW Insider later learned that Credible and his family were one of the 4 families displaced, and if there's a silver lining to this, it's that Credible and everyone else who lost their apartments were not injured in the fire. The source of the fire is currently unknown, but it will be subject to investigation, and we're offering the best to Justin, his family, and those who lost their homes in the fire. In 2021, mere weeks after his gold medal win at the Tokyo Olympics, Gable Steveson signed with WWE, turning down the likes of the NFL, UFC, and most notably AEW. While WWE had plans to fast-track Steveson to the main roster, even drafting him to Raw that same year, things haven't been going according to plan, with Gable not showing the progress in training that WWE had hoped. Stevenson's one and only physical performance in a WWE ring was at WrestleMania 38, where he suplexed fellow Olympian Chad Gable, and now WWE may have to wait longer before he's in the ring. Speaking to MMA Hour, the 22-year-old superstar provided an update and seemingly announced his plans to return to the Olympics next year. "I'm 22 and next year I'll be 23 at the Olympic Games. It's definitely a blessing to be able to call yourself an Olympic gold medalist and to be able to have the WWE fans recognize you with that, but in my eyes, there's always a next and there's always a bigger show to accomplish. WWE is another show to accomplish, but being a 2-time Olympic gold medalist is also on the top of my list. If competing in Paris is indeed Stevenson's goal, then there'll be little to no time to prepare for the scripted world of WWE. And while signing him was indeed a huge deal, Stevenson's WWE career appears further away than it's ever been. And we're ending today with Jackson Parsons, who in June 2021 sued WWE over an injury that was caused when a truck rented by the promotion collided with Parsons on his bike. Since then, the two sides have been at odds, with WWE refusing to settle for over $1 million in December 2020, and now a verdict has been reached. This month, the jury ruled that while WWE were negligent in their handling of Parsons' injuries, that Parsons himself played a major role in the incident. For the verdict, WWE were ordered to pay $331,800 to Parsons, and the case was officially closed earlier this week. While it wasn't the 7-digit figure Parsons demanded in late 2020, this is still a large chunk of money, and WWE are now looking to move past this legal issue.